Right.
I'll make sure that the people won't bother you. I have a lot of power, you know.
Yes, you do, but perhaps you should have told us before. Well, they want to murder the poor man.
Oh, it's too big. He's evil.
There's also some winnings in there we need to claim.
Sure. Veribus will try and push past the draw, basically like, I'll take care of him if they will let him. And
yeah, at this place, it's a huge brawl.
Yeah. Right.
Like
well,
these guys get knocked out pretty much immediately. Tarek is currently being battered by mind affecting spells of these drow. Just you know.
Veribus is just gonna go in, fucking grab him. Like he's probably just dazed to the point of almost utter unconsciousness. So he's just gonna pull him out. Take him out of here as soon as he can, and leave, because I think staying in here with him with an angry mob is probably not the best thing to do. So he's gonna grab him and go.
Yeah, the mob sort of follows you for a little bit until Glest once again hops on one of the tables and shouts over the masses. And refunds here, refunds at my associates behind me. As you can see, a drow standing there.
Oh, great. He's running interference. That's great.
Why did we not work with this guy to begin with? Oh my god. He hasn't even poisoned us.
It's been like 20 minutes, and he's done more for us than any of these have ever.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like,
Sheep, you said these machines were compromised, right? That Gless had already tampered with them.
Yeah, they are broken.
Can Andy try and either hack? Maybe there's a release or something. I just want to release a whole bunch of coins and stuff everywhere, so that people go after the coins instead
just
of
roll them to jackpot and then everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Just hack the thing to go to jackpot and then and then
sure.
Yeah, let Barnabas get away.
That's
computers or engineering for
that. You can choose both of merits.
I will take computers then. Any bonuses from it already being hacked?
It's not so much hacked as halfway dismantled.
All right, fair enough. Let's go. What, 34?
Yeah, sure. The crowd
natural
disperses.
Natural 20.
The crowd disperses and charges the money. Glass distraction not really being necessary. In fact, there's so much money, Andy can even grab some. You can add like 500 UPBs to your pockets.
With a natural 20, can they just like come out of all the machines like it's a program, just like?
Sure.
How much can he grab on his way out?
You can grab 500.
Nice.
Oh, sweet! Wow, thank you. How do I want you to put that in the pot? It's a party thing.
500, sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll share it.
Nice.
Get out.
Just so many people everywhere.
Yes.
I wish I had tokens for all of these.
Team
feel bad for the dying guy in the corner, but right now we have more things to do with than him.
Yeah, he's hiding from people. He's not interested in the money.
Oh, don't make me feel bad.
Get out.
Yeah, you can leave with the battered self that is Tarek at this point.
Let's take him back to the ship.
Lest will follow you after a little while.
Right. Well.
Oh. Come back.
Ah!
Well, that was a fun little caper.
That was.
Now let's just go
to the dragon's lair.
Surprisingly easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes if you put your pot in with the crazy people, you know,
we should bring this guy to the. I don't think we need to betray him. We could just bring him to the.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Prison.
I'm persuaded.
Yeah. Bring him to Golta.
Go see him.
Let's go to the dragon then.
Here.
Can we take a full rest before we do? Or do we want to head to the dragon right away?
I don't think waiting 8 hours would be great. Because it gives him a lot more time. It's going to make it more
difficult to imprison these two, at least.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can, but you know, I'm not.
Are we taking 2 minutes or 10 minutes in the ship?
At least, I'd say.
Okay, I'll prepare enough then.
Yeah.
We go and fetch.
Okay.
I can heal. That's a resolve point, isn't it? To heal.
Yes.
Yep.
Curing things. Boop.
So our plan, are we going along Glacier, guys, or do we want to just?
Well, the idea was we have all 3 of the pawns, so we have leverage over the dragon, right? We're gonna. But the Blessed's plan was that we would hand them over.
Yeah, we're gonna go there and end this game.
Yeah. The longer we hang around, the more time the dragon's got to prepare.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how.
Station.
Yeah, true. All right.
But we are gonna try and kill the. We're gonna try and end the game. We're gonna try and kill.
Yeah, we'll go and ask Blessed actually. You know, what do you plan to do when you have the station?
Well, it's a bit of a mess currently. I mean, you saw the casino. It's not going well. Like everyone got money back, and that's not how you make money. I want to make money, and then I want to get the Aslanti off the station proper, and then I want to do more things that would be a secret what I want to do.
So I know there's no reason you should tell us. However, or that we should believe what you say, but. You see, the 2 other people who have asked for our help have both been terrible scoundrels, in truth. I would ask you openly and say, what is yours?
Well, I wasn't made to be a scoundrel. I was made to collect secrets, and that's what I intend to do. But previously, I could only do that. I couldn't really think, and all the reptoids on the station were here because I was here, but I didn't know they were actually with me, but they are with me. So we Well, yes. I'm not real.
Yes, but who made you?
The reptoids did. I'm not a reptoid, but I can do something they can't. I can be small.
Ah, that is clever.
I am also very smart, very shrewd, as you said.
The reptoids want to stop the Atlantic Empire?
Yeah, of course they do. The Aslanti hate most people. They were not very successful though, because the Aslanti are very, 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 very rude.
Then it seems we have similar goals.
Oh, well, I think so. The reptoids were many once, but the Aslanti did a war on them. They discovered most of them only cells left here and there. Mine was here, but I broke in the fight, so they were stuck here until I recovered. Which, thanks to Rouge Petit, I little bit. I'm better now.
It seems my plan worked perfectly then. I do not think anyone else could have prepared you.
I don't think you knew that Rouge Petit is a smart mechanic.
I suppose people all have our secrets.
I don't think it's a secret. I'm not only very good at discovering secrets. I'm very good at identifying secrets. You don't have one.
Thaddeus will say, I've got many secrets.
I do still buy secrets. If you have something incriminating about yourself, I will pay you money.
It wasn't too hard to assume that she was a good mechanic. Like she had this custom made.
It's true.
Oh yes, but she's also a chemist.
We kind of figured.
And she's very into biology. You need all those things to fix androids.
Quite obvious, I'd say.
And poison people.
Let's go to the dragon, shall we?
Yes. Let's.
Right,
Don't die, Tina.
We'll have to go to one of the pipes and then do the tap tippity taps.
Okay.
All right. Sure.
As he
I don't dance.
No, it's not dancing. It's just tapping. It's easy. I'll show you. As he will lead you.
So he's gonna have to pretend to be a hostage then, right? Because the idea is that we're deceiving this dragon to say, like, hey, we have all of your pawns.
I think the idea is that he goes in and he is like, yo, I beat those other people, so now
I am the station leader.
He's like, I brought you the adventurers you wanted. My Atlantic overlord.
And then we're like, hey, we're the guys who just completely decimated your game. Would you like to give us the thing? Might kill you anyway, but
let's go and talk to the dragon and be like, hey, we need this chip thing, and we need to go and kill dragon. By the way,
we'll bring Tarek and Rouge Petit with us.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Glast will lead you back into the station once again through the promenade as you're docked right next to it. Into one of the back rooms. Although he does say it's not really necessary, but it's nice to have some privacy. And approaches one of the larger pipe openings. In fact, I'll move you to a spot. Where's Root Pretty? There we go. Oh, look at us being a perfect square here.
Hey, Barnabas, do you want to invis rush the dragon?
I mean, let's see if he's reasonable first, and then.
I would say if it comes to it, if it's a opportunity.
I mean, if it starts, you can always invis me during. I mean, it gives me the same effect of not being.
Well, if he never knows you're there as well.
But then someone else would have to talk to him.
No one else has diplomacy.
And I don't mind. No, Jacques Pierre has a lot. He does very well.
Yeah. It's kind of a Jacques Pierre episode.
No diplomacy.
No.
Yeah, I just don't want to force someone to do it. So.
All right, fair enough.
And Thaddeus is all about lying.
Lie and intimidate, though.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'll hold on to this. Yeah. Maybe I'll use mirror image of myself.
Being able to use a friend thing is probably more useful for you anyway.
Chip is with her new buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think Grease is going to do much.
You never know. It might be weak to slippery floors. So.
He'll fly.
Yeah, Glest will pretty much approach one of the larger pipes, and then with his doggy fingernails, claws, will do a pattern of taps against it that echo into the pipe network. It takes a little bit of time before he stops and turns to you. And now we wait. If Telmarin didn't hear, then we'll just do it again. It might take some time.
All right. Keep on the lookout then.
Oh, yeah, Tarek is like fully restrained and tied up as well. Gagged. Yeah. No spell casting for him.
And after a little while, you hear the don't want to use tiptoeing again. The clacking of claws against metal. Before you can see a snout peek around the corner of the pipe, a little bit inside, which observes you for a moment and then heads into the light. As a ghost claw arrives, not dressed in armor, but rather more or less elaborate clothing, who walks far more deliberately than the other ghost claws. Not so much the rushing around and the twitchiness that the others show, but he is more, deliberate. He looks at you, and then actually gives you a bow before saying, "Does thou seek a visitation to the gap closer?"
Yes, we dost. Yes, we do.
Doth wonder, yes.
Worth noting that he actually says this in Pact World Common, although a very old dialect.
Huh. Interesting. Well, Burnbus will respond in the affirmative.
Tell him not. Give me a second here.
Yeah, so I need to spend 20 credits to buy a fucking toolkit, apparently. It's incredible.
Ooh, I just found some good background music.
And there's an Astrocators kit? What? +4 piloting check to navigate or astrogate? What is this?
What?
There's so many different toolkits.
Can we get back to the...
Yeah.
Yes,
well, I was just waiting for you to...
Telmrim nods at you once again and says, "Then so shall it be. You even brought the tributes. That is unexpected. Early. The gap closer will be pleased, I think. He did not expect this. He is rarely surprised."
We don't have the luxury of time.
Telmrim smiles broadly at that, showing teeth. "Ah, but the gap closer does. Follow me."
Gap closer.
As Telmrim will lead you towards the network of pipes, left and right and left, without any sort of sign that he really knows where he's going or how he orients himself. But he walks again, slowly, deliberately, making sure you can follow, occasionally asking questions about the Pact World specifically, and especially about the language, because apparently he noticed that the way he speaks isn't exactly up to date.
Right.
So occasionally he asks like grammatical questions randomly.
Sure, Barnabas can answer. Nothing to do while they're walking anyway.
Yeah, he says things like, "You speak of curiously. It is not how I was taught."
Well, perhaps knowledge has been updated since you were last. Well, since whoever taught you has known it.
I was taught the language by the gap closer, although I suppose he too learned it far back.
It has been some time then.
When you say gap closer, you mean that his existence predates and outlives the gap?
No, I do not think so. It is a title chosen for his ambition.
He wishes to undo it or reverse it somehow.
I would not assume to know the motives of the gap closer exactly. I assume you could ask him.
First, we must claim our prize. You can talk to him.
Give me perception checks. All of you.
Perception.
I made Thaddeus a bit more perceptive this time around.
I rolled a 2.
Jacques Pierre.
Jacques Pierre saves us from our mediocrity.
Yeah.
What I do.
Doing very well.
Thaddeus is like, okay. And Jacques Pierre's like, oh yes.
I see through ethereal plane.
Cuttlefish have good eyesight. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, as you walk and talk fairly slowly through the pipes and such, Jacques Pierre notices something very curious. There's no sound or like sounds of footsteps, but he has the feeling that he's being followed by a cloud or something dark-ish floating about some distance back. It's definitely not something random. It's quite deliberately following you.
You'll telepathically make his companions aware.
Barnabas will you know what, if I just well, okay, that for sure. What does that do?
What's the range on that?
Does it? Oh, weird, I should say. Let me quickly look at it. Spells. Range 60 feet.
Right. You.
Oh, I messed up my thing there. My bad.
Messed up your thing?
It's just missing the range. I'll add it now. Don't worry about
it. Yeah, give me a second because I didn't actually apparently finish the token. There we go. That seems to have worked. All right, you turn around. There isn't really anything magical there.
Sorry, let me just test it again. There we go. Nothing magical. He responds back telepathically if the connection's still open.
It's a one-way thing.
It's a one-way thing? Alright, he'll whisper it.
Then maybe it's something like a physical substance. Right. We're not using light, but Barnabas can probably flare out his moat 20 feet to see if they can see anything behind them.
Okay, as you do, I would like you to do a marching order. You're traveling north. Yeah, this is basically the representation of a pipe. All of this is difficult terrain.
Yes. Dark cloud. Ugh, I don't like the sound of that.
I mean, Chip is wherever Glass is.
Yeah.
Is he like in the back or in the front?
Where is Glass? There he is.
Yeah. We don't know. We can't move him.
She is talking secrets.
Recipes and such. You can see the cloud as the light sort of approaches its direction. Speed up, stop, and then form into this guy, sword raised.
Ooh.
As he will, instead of flying, walk towards you, basically to the closest person, which would be Thaddeus.
What's up, bruh?
Does he look like he's about to slash Thaddeus in half?
He has a sword raised.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, Thaddeus is not an idiot. He's not going to pull a weapon out. And he'll square... No, he'll square him up to the dude. Just be like, I'm not afraid. I don't know what you do.
In which case, the sword will come down and attack Thaddeus.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I hit.
Initiative.
Rude.
Who the hell is this guy?
That guy who stops people from ruining time.
Yeah.
So
apparently something we're about to do is
wrong.
Well, he's running my time.
Yeah.
Alright. Chip. Fine.
Chip is very slow. She's shocked.
Why does Andy not have
Sometimes if you click the button as someone else does it, it gets messed up.
Oh, okay.
Alright, he acted first. It's appropriate that Thaddeus acts next. Neither Glass nor Telrim are fighters, so... Thaddeus.
Well, Thaddeus will call his own blade into his hand. And slice at it.
Ooh.
25 for 15.
You connect with its body that seems to part like a cloud of flies momentarily, although you do seem to take a chunk out of it.
This weapon does have dispelling as well. I don't remember what that... I need to quickly remind...
It works as a dispel magic spell.
Yeah, I just don't remember if I have to declare it with an action.
No, if you crit, you can decide to do it, but this guy doesn't have any magical effects on it.
Doesn't? Okay. Well, if that is a crit, then he also suffers a 1d6 bleed.
Yes.
If that's the...
Well, I'll have to look into how bleed really works, but since we didn't give Nugget any bleed, this guy doesn't get any either.
I can quickly look while we go on to the next person.
Right, Jacques-Pierre.
Well, I guess we're fighting it.
What?
I guess we're fighting this thing.
Yeah, well, Thaddeus isn't going to take a cut to the face without an answer.
Turn around, try to shoot it.
Oof.
Yeah. That hits because he's flat-footed.
Now he is flat-footed for the round.
Yes. Andy.
Okay, he'll sort of like, huh? As this guy comes around and he says, wait, we can talk this out. We can be reasonable. You're here to stop something. If we're in the way, we don't know. We don't realize it. Just talk to us, okay? We can figure this out. We don't have to. I guess that's all I can say in like 6 seconds.
Okay. You will respond if he's able, when he's able, if he likes.
I'll take a readied action to move if he goes to attack me, or like. Oh no, I kind of screwed. Yeah, I'll take a guarded step back if he attacks me. That's my readied action.
Okay. Barnabas.
Well, I mean, just a note on the DR from earlier. If it usually has a thing after that applies to what can overcome it, but for kinetic, like for just normal kinetic ones, it seems that magic weapons can overcome are like counted to. Let me just read this. Sorry. Sword weapon is considered magic for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. I don't really know what that means, though.
Some things have damage reduction that is specifically against non-magical weapons.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like ghosts.
So difficult terrain. So I can only go 20. I can't even get past you guys.
You could get here.
No, I can't. I guess I'll
just
double
take a
move.
double move.
Yep.
I mean, you can delay if you want.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he might.
Move there.
Okay, anything else?
I can't. I double moved.
Okay, Chip.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't see reason to be this close to this guy. Chip will move, and she'll move Nugget. Wait. Here, I guess? Is that alright, Barnabas?
Yeah, that's fine.
If he moves past him, he gets an attack of opportunity.
Oh, he can just move
this way.
This way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have enough movement for that?
Yes. 13?
Yeah,
it's
everything
terrain.
here is difficult terrain.
Oh.
It's double, so 5.
Although I guess since we
go
don't...
here. Go here. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh. We don't actually use 1-to-1, so it would be the same distance, yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's me.
Alright. The sword pauses for a moment, as in your minds, in a language you don't know but can most definitely understand very clearly, he says, "This way leads to destruction. If you are removed, it is prevented." Before he attacks Thaddeus again. With
that's
a
happening.
onslaught of sword attacks.
Nice.
He will make 3 attacks at a -6.
Alright.
That's
Miss.
16. That's
Ow.
presumably a hit. That is presumably
Ooh,
off.
that's okay. That's fine. Thaddeus can handle this.
Also, he has crit effects, which means roll me. I assume these are 5 overuse. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I need 2 fortitude saves. And those are both successes. The blade isn't so much an actual blade. As it hits you, it actually splits off into this swarm of tiny particles, really, that dig at your flesh like acid damage.
Yay.
You take 18 points of damage.
I've taken it. He also takes 5 from the bleeding.
He will take 5. But you will notice that the bleeding immediately stops as some of his bits get back together.
Nice. Alright, I'll guarded step here. And then now I'm flanking. I get a +2 to this, so 21 for 8.
21 just hits.
And that is me.
Jacques Pierre.
Here and
21 does not succeed, but a 22 hits for sure. For 8 points of damage. Actually, that is not true. Oops. There we go. Andy.
Andy guarded steps back while taking out Thaddeus's laser rifle and does not like it, but doesn't have a choice. So 25 for 6.
25 hits. 6 damage. Barnabas.
I mean, like, I can't not have this thing slash all my friends. So let's full attack. -4 to each.
That is a miss. That hits so much damage. 18.
Yeah.
How do you do so much damage? I wish I could see the calculation. Like right now, it's. I don't like it.
I'll see if I can make it. Just pull it here.
All right. I guess we're shooting this guy. So
damage is just melee attack damage.
that.
Oh,
Damage slash equals 1d6 plus strength plus weapon spec.
That is a miss.
Yes, Nugget will also attack.
1d6 plus 9 plus strength. I have a Soulfire mod. It adds my charisma to damage as well.
A lot of damage. 21 hits.
Yes.
Biting into the swarm of nanites that is this inevitable. Who will fight until the bitter end because that's the only thing it knows and keep slashing at Thaddeus.
Fuck you, dude.
1 for 20. That's pretty good. 28 and
And a miss.
18.
Woof.
18
and an
misses?
18? No, there's
Oh, sorry,
minus
16.
6.
16.
Yeah.
23 slashing damage. And actually a fortitude save.
Ooh.
You are nauseated for a round as some of the nanites just get into and under your skin, sort of digging at everything.
Nice. So I need to remind myself what
270 is
nauseated is.
the page with the conditions.
Yeah, nauseated. You're unable to attack, cast spells, or concentrate on spells, and the only action you can take is a single move action per turn. What?
Jeez.
That's horrific. What the fuck? Alright, I guess I'll just guarded step here. It's a move action, so. The
Sure,
fuck?
yeah.
Sure. I'll just shoot.
Since this is difficult terrain, you can't guard a step, I believe.
Wait, this is guarded? No, this is difficult terrain. I thought it was the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he said the whole thing.
Oh.
the whole thing. You're in a pipe, I just don't have a better map.
I guess I won't move then. I won't do anything because I can't.
Right? Turns out you might not need to. As this
Total
will be-
defense?
Have a move action.
And he is.
I don't have
flat.
anything other than move action.
He is.
Total defense.
Andy?
Oh, I'm sorry. Andy will take out the sentry shield projector. Thaddeus bit. He's a little worried about him.
Yeah.
So he gets 7 temporary hit points.
Cool. I'll just keep that in mind. And
yeah, and he'll step back as well.
Barnabas.
Yeah,
Get out
just
of there.
changing the macro so you can see it. Hopefully it works this time. Yeah, let's keep killing this thing. Full attack again, and hopefully this works. Yeah, you can see it now. So that's good. And another one. Crit.
That's a crit.
Nice.
I mean, you can describe this guy evaporates.
I mean, his solar weapon, like with the weapon crystal in it, is just basically just fire, just intense fire, and then he like rips across the thing, and it like rends him, and he just explodes. Like it's so concentrated it actually causes irradiation, which it's not. It doesn't affect him, but like that's how concentrated the heat is, and it just kind of he claws him, and then the heat just kind of explodes him from within. Just like as he's already kind of a cloudy kind of substance anyway, he just disperses into nothingness, I guess.
Yeah, the cloud briefly turns. Well, the creature briefly turns into a cloud before that just winks out of existence. Yeah. Glast commenting, well, I don't have any secrets about that thing. But it's gone now, so that's good. Don't need any.
Still worried about what I said, though. Let's we continue on our
Yeah.
path.
What did he mean? That destroying us would keep reality intact?
Oh, it's... Who knows? Doesn't matter.
I think it's a pretty important thing.
I
Glast.
mean, it sounded like a secret. Would you say that secrets don't matter?
No, it's important to pick the good ones, the ones you can actually use. If I were to find out how you will break reality, apparently that might be a good thing, but it might just be be mad.
Be something to look out for. I don't think we've seen the last of him.
Who are these guys, anyways? Were they those angel dudes you were talking about earlier, Andy?
Yes, I don't know everything about them, but they apparently tried to keep reality intact. I tried to warn him about the rune drive since we discovered that it had adverse effects by connecting to the Aeon throne. I was hoping that perhaps that would prompt him to go and sabotage the throne or connection to the rune drive, but instead he decided to come after us? It makes no sense.
What's a rune drive?
It's a tablet.
Nothing, secrets, as you say.
Tell you once we get out of here.
That's a good one, I think.
Or we won't tell you.
Shh, I'm not gonna tell him. I'm just,
It's so good that you couldn't even afford it, Glast.
Oh, if I can't afford something, then I have to do other things. I wouldn't want that. You're friends.
Well, we don't have one, so.
It's not as good as my stew.
Your stew is probably a secret for a reason.
Yes.
Well, regardless, that doesn't change the fact that we still need the chip to get out of here.
Onwards.
Onwards.
The golf ball turns.
May I suggest that Thaddeus doesn't go behind this time?
Thaddeus shrugs and says, "It's fine. It's just another wound."
It's okay. I'll guard you, Chip says as he pats him on the knee or whatever she can reach to.
Barnabas will go over to Thaddeus and make sure he's covering sight of everyone else and just slip him a healing serum. Nobody's looking.
Thumbs up. Thaddeus will like smirk and pocket it, and through his like trousers, like stab himself with it.
As we're getting ready to leave, Andy will sort of like wave the or sort of like shake the sentry shield gun and be like, "I'll keep this out just in case." I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
I think that's 1d8 for you.
Is it 1d8? Yeah.
Yeah, 1d8.
Yeah. Mark ones, yeah, they're 1d8.
You can do it. Oh,
Yes.
fuck off.
Nice.
The pain of one dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's very rare that I
the dragon.
actually get hurt. So
Yeah, it's fine. I have 5 more, so, you know.
I'll be fine.
to the gap closer. Talbot.
That's right.
And infinity.
Telram does turn around and say, I am the sorriest for this incident. These pipes, yes, are dangerous. However, this thing was not supposed to find its way down here. Gap Closer will be very pleased that you have taken care of it.
We are mostly unharmed. You don't need to apologize.
He bows regardless before leading you on again. Now, after a little while, quite the labyrinth really. Without a guide, it is unlikely you would have found your way down here.
Right.
You are led into a room.
Keep him alive, hint, hint.
It's a room like many other discarded machinery, many pipes converging on this location, railway tracks, multiple in fact, despite the map telling you otherwise, basins and hatches, as if this was the center of the entire station pretty much. Maybe not the center, but more like the aft section, where things converge and are eventually either loaded onto ships or thrown out into space. You pass multiple airlocks, in fact, at this point. Before Telmrim stops you at one of the larger doors, saying that he will have to introduce you. And please wait here.
Alright. Chip will proceed to violently carve out a comb and like brush her hair a little bit. Tidy up, you know?
Gotta be well groomed.
And then she will offer it to the other people, like, you know, when she...
I like to imagine...
Most of the drool is gone.
I like to imagine Thaddeus goes to, like, put his hand through his hair, and then as he brings it up to do that, he realizes there's blood on it, and he's like, let's not do that, actually. Don't want blood all over the hair.
But you can you can borrow this, you know. I can, you know, make it wet again if that makes it easier.
Thaddeus shakes
like
his head.
Sticks it back into her mouth and takes it out.
He shakes his head and Yosoki says, nah, I think I'm okay. I've had too many Yosoki brushes in my hair before.
Oh, wow. That's scandalous. You know. I mean, you can go with the rascal look. That's...
I think it suits me.
Chip will, like, notedly, like, look at him, like, They're like, yeah, He clearly doesn't know anything about fashion, but... neither does she, so...
She says, looking at the man with cuts from, like, weird nanobot swords and... Ah.
I believe it was beetles or something, yes.
It takes a few minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of you just sitting here. As to the only noises really are you talking between each other and the clanking and creaking of old metal bending as space cools it down. And runaway machinery heats it up again. Then never-ending cycle of noises.
Beautiful.
Before the large blast door at the end opens in dramatic slowness, before a rather massive creature heads through it, which is this guy. A dragon, certainly, but not one that your metagaming self might know of.
Very cool.
Certainly looking unlike ye olde dragon, stomping slowly towards you, observing each of you with keen eyes before sitting down, pretty much. The tail sort of surrounding himself in like a little nest before he speaks. Giving you a curt nod before that, in fact, as he says, "Ah, our meeting is going differently than last time. Although we haven't met yet, you will be surprised to know that I know much about you."
Perhaps, although, how would you know that?
We have many secrets.
I am sure you do. This has happened before. Not exactly like this, but similar enough. Last time you came to me to request, I believe, the same thing you will request this time. Although, this time I actually have it and do not need to acquire it first.
Well, then if you know what we need, then I would not waste time explaining our situation to you.
Oh, absolutely, you do not need to. In fact, I can see that you were even more efficient than last. It pleases me. All free, and I didn't even have to tell you what to do.
Well,
And
practice does make perfect.
I was even going to give you a choice who you would like to keep, but it even seems you have made that decision too. It almost seems as if you had the same powers I have, although I know better.
Well, you know, when you have a second go around, you can improve.
Certainly, certainly. Now, I will, of course, not keep you much longer. You have done exactly as I would have asked, which is good enough. There is, of course, the matter of the deal, which needs to be talked about. You are on the search for something that I require. You will want to know my motives for acquiring it, and I shall tell you. You see, last time I betrayed you, I allied with the Aslanti, and that was a suboptimal decision, which is why we are here once more. I would rather not do that too many times. So here's the deal. I will give you what you require. I will aid you in a, I assume, critical moment in the future, securing your success, and most importantly, I will not oppose you if you deliver to me the rune drive.
Well,
You have friends to save, yes? And it is essential that you are not shot out of the sky before being able to dock at Gulta.
yes, you drive a hard bargain, but forgive me for sounding like a broken record, because I'm sure you've heard this before, but what would you do with it?
It is an incredibly powerful device. In the wrong hands, it would be used for its intended boring purpose of traveling across the stars. In the right hands, it would allow one to use the power of the Aeon throne to do much more. I assume Telmrim has told you my self-chosen nickname. I intend to keep the promise I made to myself back when I'm getting nostalgic. Back when I discovered my innate powers. You see, I am from the Pact World too. I once tried to do something very ambitious, which was to see what came before the gap. But as it turned out, that was not possible. I was nearly torn apart. I was crushed, put back together repeatedly as the time streams crossed and broke me thoroughly. It took me many, many, many years to get myself back together. My mind, mostly. My body was fine. I want to see what came before the gap, and the only way to do that is to make sure the gap never happened.
Do share your desire to see what happened before. This deal, I presume that you would hold to your word, as would we.
I will not make any promises, for you do not care much about promises. I will tell you how things are and will be. I have trouble determining exactly what will be. However, I've gotten pretty good at it with experience. I will help you immediately with something you need, and you will help me eventually, or I will turn my wrath against you. Or perhaps try this again. Just do something else.
Perhaps then we'll have a deal.
I mean, maybe next time.
Good. Now you've made your choice. You would like to keep Glass. It is not the choice you made last time, for sure.
Curious, what did we do last time?
Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? No. I'm not going to tell you anything that might change what you are going to do in the way that I hope you're going to do it. Let's just say last time we had a severe disagreement and your choice didn't end up mattering. But in this case, I see no reason to do anything to hurt you.
You seem to give a reasonable deal, so why would
I've already tried unreasonable. It was fun but unproductive.
Jacques will look to Glass because he wanted the station, right? That's part of it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't speak up.
He's a bit confused. He seems to be in thorough listening mode, blending into the background and not really saying a peep, as you say.
Andy's been focusing on
provided us some assistance, and he has requested that the station be turned over to him.
Oh yeah, yes. I want the station. I did the game. I won. These people helped me win. They will need the thing you've already said you would give them, and I want the station you've already said you would give me. So what is this about the gap? What's the point? The point is that it's an obstacle that opposed me successfully. I cannot stand.
in what you say that we have chosen, if you do give him the station as he so wants, and you help us, as you said you would, then I see no reason why we shouldn't help you in turn.
I definitely disagree.
Well, he's Brandon's is like, I'm obviously lying.
Yeah, but lying to a time dragon seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, what would you have me do? Die here? I mean,
I can tell the truth. Not afraid.
I'm afraid of my imminent destruction. This is you don't mess with a dragon unless you know you can deal with it.
Yeah, we'll move forward.
Oh god, here we go.
Yeah. Sheep, does this guy have any like time auras or anything around him? Andy's been focusing on him for several rounds with detect magic, and he's just in my range. Is there any signs of magical effects surrounding him, or any residue of what he might be talking about, or any buffs or anything?
You can definitely detect two things. One, he's a magical creature, and two, he's not an illusion.
Okay.
It's the real deal.
More details is beyond the spell.
We
Detect
have.
magic.
Can I do a mysticism check with that?
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
Okay. Let's go mysticism then. 30.
Definitely a rare
That's
creature.
a natural 20. Say
All
again?
right. Turns out, it's a time dragon.
Okay.
Using player knowledge a bit, you know there's the chromatic metallic dragons, which definitely still exist in Starfinder and are out and about, especially on Triaxis in the Pact Worlds, doing their Shadowrun-esque corporations and whatnot. But in addition, there's the outer dragon, which are dragons that live not only in space, but also on other planes. They are technically also from the Pact Worlds, because the Pact Worlds have always been sort of the center of the universe, but are more... They're more spread around. Like, they traveled the stars before the gap was a thing. They've always been spacefaring creatures. And rumor has it that some of them have rather crazy abilities. There is, of course, the thing of being able to survive in space, which, in the grand scheme of things, is pretty ordinary. There's many creatures that do that. Mm-hmm. But time dragons especially have the innate ability to manipulate time. Only for themselves, however. They can travel back as well as forward in time. However, that ability is heavily limited, to the point where usually what happens with a time dragon is they discover they have that ability, they go somewhere, and then they fuck up and die. Because it's, you travel 5,000 years in the future, and then a peasant with a laser gun will just kill you. Those sort of things, like with a super advanced space laser gun from the future.
Yeah.
So time dragons are fairly rare because time travel is a dangerous thing. It is also dangerous because it attracts the attention of things that dislike time travel, because time travel messes with a lot of things. It breaks things. It breaks the universe. Some scholars assume that the gap was caused by massive time travel on a large scale, for example. Which means that time dragons can only do it a grand total of 3 times in their entire life, which makes it a pretty big deal if they do it. And if they do it, they also attract the attention of inevitables, because they would rather not have time travel, because it messes with shit that they don't want messed with. They want the universe in the proper shape.
Seems like they should kill all the time dragons.
Yeah. Andy will pipe up after considering this knowledge and say, you say that we did this last time. Was there a time before? How many times have we been through this together?
No, many times at this point, so there's no point not doing what I tell you to do. We will just end up being here over and over and over again. Of course, you wouldn't know, but I would get more and more annoyed, and that's not good for anyone.
Andy will send a text to Barnabas's visor.
You just pull out your phone and start texting in front of the dragon.
Oh my god!
He's an android.
I'm an android. Presumably, I can do that as just part of my function.
I have to Snapchat this. Look at this guy. It's huge.
Then
and just a phone.
No, is that there's a run drive. We'll have to go to Sir Stewart's.
You can return the rune drive after I'm done with it.
How about said you ask Sam for it when I suppose you would already have done that, so
You put much trust into an organization with perhaps superficially noble goals, however, still controlled by mortals who are quickly overwhelmed with the power the Rune Drive would have. Even if not understood perfectly, and nobody except me could truly understand what it is all about, it could do a lot of things. It could give singular people a lot of power. Power corrupts. I, however, am incorruptible. Not only that, but I seek to do a noble thing for the entire universe. Culture lost, civilizations died in a time that we have no way of learning about because it actively refuses to be known.
It could be. It so happens that most recently we were approached by a sort of celestial god being who said that we were, if we proceeded with what we would do, going to destroy the universe. As such, I am very reluctant to go with my first instinct of simply accepting your deal.
They are self-proclaimed keepers of order, but their definition of order does not mix with ours. They want perfect order, however, life only exists because of a little chaos. It would be foolish to trust the opinions about a group of beings who would have refused for life to even exist in the first place if they had the power to make a decision back then. You also assume that they are omniscient, which they are not. They attacked you, they did not attack me. Which means they are neither omnipotent, because they could not bring the forces to defeat me, or they are neither omniscient, because they didn't know where to find me.
I mean, or they saw us as an easier target. Like, that would seem logical, no?
That is true, but this also means that without us, she will never succeed.
If I had no use for you, this conversation would not be happening, and I would not be assisting you. You can assume that if you do not help me, you will not see the friends you're trying to save again.
Well, you already know how this is going to end, so why not simply give us what we need and we'll be on our way.
I know how it ended last time.
Well, I suppose you should be nicer.
I am trying my best to do just that.
Well, then let's see the drive.
He turns around and sort of gives you the head gesture of follow me. Before heading through the large blast door into a slightly smaller, sort of domed room. A lot of very, very large pipe openings in the ceiling. And two large doors, pretty much two large airlocks leading directly into space. Both the inner doors of those airlocks are in fact open currently. And the inside of the airlocks contains a lot of things, really. It's hard to make out what exactly they are. They are partly crates, open crates with just seemingly junk in it, wires and such peeking out, but also a lot of gadgets apparently. Definitely technology of different makes, not just standard Atlantic technology, but a huge variety of different technology types. As the dragon sort of nudges some of that out of the sight before grabbing a very, very small whitish and roundish box in one of the corner of his little hoard there, which he gently puts down in front of himself and in front of you. It's very unassuming.
Right.
Before he nods towards us and says, "This is it."
You would let us inspect it for a moment, correct?
Obviously. If you try to steal it, you will not fail. You will not. He nudges it towards you.
All right.
And he casts Psychokinetic Hand and toward himself.
Floats towards you. The dragon follows the device with its eyes very closely.
All right, let's do this.
While they're doing this, you can check here. Like, get an idea of how tough this dragon would be.
That would be
dragon, but
that would be mysticism. I guess that could piggyback on Andy's check still. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I got a natural 20 with it, right? Maybe Andy's studied this in the Arcanumerium.
Yeah, but it's Manakai's idea, so roll me a sense motive. 24. You do notice that he seems rather sluggish in a sense. It might just be him taking things slow, or it might be the fact that he's actually fairly exhausted from something or another. On the other hand, he is a very large dragon. And it's like, in terms of metagaming terms, because I think that's what you're looking for and that's actually useful, it would be a fight that's technically possible.
Oh, fuck. You can't tell me these sort of things.
Well, okay, if we're gonna go chat about this, my idea was to agree, but clearly not go with it, get the rune drive, come back, and kill him. I mean, he's not going to get any stronger where he is, I'm assuming, and we're going to get...
Yeah, but if he is a time dragon, he could just, like, decide, oh, you know, YOLO, I'll just go and try and interfere with the gap again, and then just undo all of the time that has happened.
I feel like Jacques doesn't like the idea of destroying the universe. That's...
Well, the thing with
that's like shoot yourself in the head so you don't do it. The
thing with the inevitables, don't they revert when the world breaks? When the universe breaks, they just go, shit, yeah, no, let's just take it back to the last quick save we had.
Well, either way, if we attack him now or attack him later, he's not going to know that we've been betraying him until we attack him, which means that if you're going to say he's just going to reset, then either way, it's pointless.
Well, if he's exhausted now, then we might have a chance compared to later when he'll be refreshed.
It's a dragon, though. I understand the reasoning here, but like I don't think this is something that's easily done, and we have a lot of resources spent already.
Man,
like, Sarah doesn't have any spells nearly, so sorry. Yeah,
I'm out now.
If everyone wants to go for it, I'm behind you, but I just think this is not a good idea to do.
It would be kind of cool to have a space battle with the dragon in the future. I'm not going to be much use this combat other than guns, so I will abstain because I won't be able to do much help if that's what you decide to do.
You really want to mess him up? Oh.
I'll go either way. Yeah. But I did get a 40 on identifying the thing. Tell me everything.
Yeah. First of all, yes, it's an unassuming device, and really it doesn't do that much, you think, but it does exactly what you need it to do. It modulates like your engine exhaust in a very specific pattern, depending on the make of your engine, which means once you attach it to an engine, it's basically stuck to that ship forever. You can't really put it on a different ship. Which also means that it makes sense that blank things of these are very valuable, because you can't just steal one from a different Atlantic ship, even if you could claim a different Atlantic ship, which you can't because they explode, because they self-destruct. It seems to be intentionally like unassuming, which makes sense with what we've been told, that not even like the normal Atlantic soldiers know about it. It's a fairly secretive secondary measure to make sure that Atlantic ships can be identified as ships belonging to the Atlantic Empire, and not just people like you trying to sneak about.
With a 40, would Andy know how to install it safely? Like if there's any trips or
It looks to be made to work for even the stupidest user. It's
Right.
presumably aimed at Aslanti nobles who might not be the smartest people. So they just you just put it on top of your engine and it'll attach itself, and then you're done.
Okay. Very well. I look up towards Barnabas and nod after inspecting it, and you can see that Andy's hand sort of glows a bit as he casts Identify, and then there's a bunch of code and stuff that goes like in front of his face, and then he sort of looks up at you, convinced of it.
All right. I mean, before I continue, I think we need to make a decision then, because I don't want to choose something that is in the way of what people want to do. Do we want to take him on, or do we want to accept his deal, obviously not intending to do it, and come back, or...
I think he's out of uses. I think he time travel innate abilities, which is why he's going about it now.
You can probably counter. He tried to do the drift.
Yeah, that's why I asked about it.
Yeah, so he did the drift, and then he's obviously done this before. Yeah, because he's mentioned as much.
He's done it at least 3 times. He's done it at least 3 times. I'm pretty sure. Third? He said that
with the 20, Andy would think that it is fairly likely that most, if not all, time dragons travel at least once accidentally while being a wormling.
Right.
So he's probably his third.
It's not 100% that he may be completely screwed, but it's not impossible either.
The evidence seems to implicate that he has humbled himself because he's like, crap, I can't, like, if I get this, I can't change it again, which is why he's being so diplomatic. So I don't think that he can do this again.
And yet, like...
I might be wrong,
so much.
But
honestly...
I'm not saying that for, to promote killing him or walking away. I'm just saying, like, whatever decision we make, let's keep that in mind.
I almost see that as a reason.
The problem here is that we're not fully rested.
Yes, that's the problem.
Well, I think almost all of us are at full HP.
Let's go away, have a nap, come back.
Yeah.
We can't go back here. We don't know the way.
We can't find the way. It's true.
Yeah. So it's now or
deliberately placed.
Which means we also can't let Talmarin escape, and I can't see his token.
I don't think he's that big of a deal compared to the dragon.
He's the one who guided
us. Find your way
us.
out and find your way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also need to be able to get out of the station. So yeah, it's got to be one or the other options.
Oh god.
Just feel like this fucker is going to have some sort of plan in place for later on when he can snap up the rune drive for himself.
Of course, it's the dragon. I'm just, this is, as again, technically possible, but I'm pretty sure we're going to sustain some losses here. And I don't mean just, I just mean health. I mean people might die.
Oh, God.
This guy's also instigated a killing game that lots of people who are just under have.
No,
and
I'm not one.
I'm not into that.
He currently is he's currently telling us, "Hey, I've seen the future. You should do this because then you can play my game, and then I'll end up with the rune drive."
Might I suggest, Sheep? It is run over time. Can we decide over the break and then come back?
No.
I mean, you can if you like, yeah.
Man, just really gonna fuck this dragon up.
I think I'm with you, Manikai.
No, in truth, let's be true. I just really want to fuck the dragon up, and
honestly,
I can make all sorts of fancy reasons for that. But I think the most thing is just
it would be fun.
Look at him, right?
Yeah.
Look at him.
I
deserves to get his ass kicked by Cuttlefish because that is a great story.
It's pretty great.
And JPS had it with this place, and all these assholes being dicks.
Yeah, I'm down for fucking him up too.
I can quite easily say that doing this is definitely a Thaddeus thing. He would be all up for it. Not even metagame where I want this to happen. I'm wholeheartedly in.
All right.
Oh, I want to fight him now, but I can't.
I guess next week you'll fight a time dragon.
Hey, do we level up?
we can continue to. We can just do the dragon now and then.
Can we? Yeah.
No, we
No,
cannot.
no,
reset
I
the-
It'll
don't
be
have time
so
for that.
long.
Sorry.
Oh.
It'll be so long.
Oh well.
Next time I'll tell you that you did fight the dragon and won, but he reset back to this point, and now he knows exactly what to do.
Now he's pissed. But he's used all of his time
Yeah,
resets.
now he's read our character sheets. He,
I mean, I don't know what he would learn that's useful to him.
No.
it's true. I mean,
They use guns.
if we've been through all this before, then yeah, he knows. He already knows what we can do. So
Whatever he did last time, he started with Aslanti and made them conquer the universe. So
All
you know,
right.
I guess if not for him, they would rule the universe now.
well, no, and more like, yeah, I suppose.
But he
Because that was the
enabled it.
original timeline, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, but his ability just only works on himself. He like fractured the universe because he tried to do it to get back before the gap.
Mhm.
He can't just be like, nah, that didn't happen. Let's just all of us reset. Like,
Well, yeah, he does reset everything because when you go back in time
Yeah.
to change something, you undo everything that happened.
That is the
Well, then-
problem with time travel, is that everything that has happened and you go back in
Delete
time,
it.
it's gone.
yeah,
It's gonna happen
That's fair.
again.
Yeah. It's only when you go back to that time period doing nothing that it is still there. It's time
or doing
travel
the same thing that you did.
quandaries are so fucked up.
If inevitables are here
It's
to
role
stop.
playing games.
Because then
That's-
there's
yeah,
also the
also-
question of the doing of time traveling could fuck up things, regardless of if you do anything, if anything sees anything.
Intent, yeah.
You know, you could just plop into the middle of just dead space for half a second, and that could fuck something up. Because time travel and hundreds of years.
Well, not to mention that if you can't exist, like, if you need oxygen to breathe, there's a time travel 6 months in the future, the planet isn't going to be in the same spot
No,
that you were, so you'll just die.
yeah. It's awful.
It's never factored into these things.
Time travel is a terrible idea.
In a bit of a metagame information, there's two things I will not do as a GM ever, which is mind control, aka like the witch or whatever happened there.
Yeah.
Which also means that no, Jack Pierre wasn't like mind controlled. He just acted that way. By the
Just
way,
was like that, which is okay, sure.
and two, I will not pull bullshit like, oh, you did the thing, but now the dragon undid all your accomplishments, so nothing you did ever mattered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's more of a
yeah.
think Star Trek, where sometimes really weird shit happens, but it still makes for a good story, you know.
Yeah. That was the other thing I didn't want to, like, I wanted to find an in-game reason to believe it, but like, nah, you wouldn't do that.
And point three, although I only wanted to say two things, regardless of what you choose, you never have to worry about like going against the raider roll. Like, this is not a situation where I've planned for you to act one way, but if you decide to do something completely else, I will be happy that you take the reins into your own hands and write your own story. I can suggest a story, I can suggest a direction, but in the end, it's up to the characters to actually write down the story, what happens.
Mhm.
I make characters that I think are interesting, that have plans, so I plan the story around those. But if, of course, you happen and then shit goes wrong. That's how games go.
You
Yeah.
happen.
Oh, I completely subscribe to the same philosophy of GMing. That's great.
You know, this could very well be like an Emerson situation where I present to you an enemy that I want to introduce, but you just murder him instead. Even though that's not supposed to be possible, but...
Hello, friends. I'm going to be a huge problem later. Oh God, you killed me!
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope.
We're PCs. We're
Yeah.
we're
I'll
shifty.
come back as a vascular spear.
So I need to.
And I'll never die again.
I need to find out. Healing serums. How are they administered?
I think you
It's an
poke
injection.
yourself.
Yeah.
Is it an injection?
Pretty sure, yeah.
In which case, technically, it could be put into my rifle,
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
and
Healing
I literally become like Anna.
You can
So
miss them.
there is a problem, which is the weapon still does its damage, I
It
believe.
has no damage.
Oh, it doesn't have damage. Okay,
has
then
no
then it
damage.
doesn't matter. Like the injection pistol actually does damage, which is stupid.
Yeah, that's real dumb. But no, this doesn't have a damage like value. It's just a dash in the damage.
Yeah, that totally works. One of the new classes currently in the playtest actually has a big thing around doing exactly that.
The biohacker. Yeah, tomorrow I'm running a Starfinder one-shot for people who are interested in learning about the system and whatnot, and I've said, yeah, go for it. If you want to use the playtest characters, like, even if they don't work, it's a one-shot, like, whatever. So one of them's playing a biohacker.
Well,
Be interesting to see how that goes.
on that note, I'm going to turn off the stream. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.